Hello everyone, my name is Nicole. I will be representing my teammates to explain a strategic cost management approach, which is benchmarking, in this short video. Before going into all that, let me introduce my teammates. They are Eng Hui Yu, Luan Thong, Jin Pei Shi, Tan Ming Ming, Lo Cheng Yi, and Teng Tian Yan. Let's get started. So, what is benchmarking? Benchmarking is one of the most popular and recognized techniques widely used in an organization to determine the best way to execute activities and business processes by comparing key activities or processes with best practice within and outside an organization. Benchmarking is a business tool used by organizations to improve performance by researching and learning best practices and analyzing leading organizations' successful processes. It does not mean that organizations must replicate the exact processes and practices of leading organizations in the market. This means that those organizations that want to achieve the same standard and performance must bring some innovative ideas and adjust them according to the need of the company. According to CIMA official terminology, benchmarking is defined as the process of comparing and measuring its business products, services, and policies with other competitors through data collection to identify relative performance levels so that your organization can take action to improve its performance. The purpose of benchmarking is to identify and assess the company's current status in terms of best practices, redefine and create innovative concepts to improve processes and supporting technologies, reduce waste and costs, increase profits, and enrich customer satisfaction. There are two main types of benchmarking, which are internal benchmarking and external benchmarking. Internal benchmarks are used to compare the practice and performance between teams and individuals within an organization to determine which teams do better and share the knowledge of the entire company with other teams to achieve higher performance. External benchmarking refers to comparing organization performance with competitors all across industries. Further, the benchmarking is subclassified as process benchmarking, performance benchmarking, and strategic benchmarking. Process benchmarking is done by collecting and comparing the other company's strategic information through research, website visits, and seminars on other companies to improve our company's processes. Performance benchmark is a comparison of products and services to determine how well our company is compared to other companies. Strategic benchmarking is a process by which companies identify the basic lessons and winning strategies used by successful companies and apply them to their own strategic processes to develop core competitiveness that contributes to sustained competitive advantage. In addition, strategic benchmark examine how companies compete, which is ideal for companies with a long-term vision. It is also common to compare strategic objectives to discover new strategic options. Other types of benchmarking are generic benchmarking, competitive benchmarking, and functional benchmarking. Generic benchmarking involves comparing an organization's key business processes and operations with best practice organizations that perform similar tasks or provide similar services. The goal of competitive benchmarking is to compare companies that have competing products, services, or work processes in the same market. Functional benchmarking refers to comparing technologies or processes in one's own industry or technical field. The benchmarking process is divided into 5 stages, which are planning, collecting information, analysis data, action, and monitoring. Benchmarking focuses on best practices, which are measured based on performance and strive for continuous improvement. Benchmarking can be used to compare the processes of an organization to review its operation in business. Budgeting, strategic planning, and capital planning all benefited from benchmarking. Benchmarking often starts with pointing out what the companies need to improve and collecting relevant information of competitors on how to do well. Then, managers start to understand the shortcomings and implement changes based on collected data. After implementation, managers will know the efficacy of changes. Thus, by using benchmarking, it enables managers in identifying critical success factors and reviewing performance of measures in the company. Businesses can acquire data with a broader frame of reference by repeating the benchmarking process over multiple years. Benchmarking provides a full assessment of the change management process and allows the business to achieve best practice each 6 to 8 months on average. It is crucial to assess and adjust as technology advances and regulation develops. One of the main advantages of benchmarking is that it is cost-effective because it allows organizations to save time and money and avoid mistakes made by the other companies. Besides, it may assist all organizations in identifying their own vital operations that can boost earnings. Therefore, managers can create and implement a performance improvement plan by using benchmarking to improve the success of the company. However, the limitation of benchmarking is that organizations may use the wrong type of benchmarking as there are multiple types of benchmarking. Therefore, organizations need to understand the different types of benchmark before implementing them. Internal benchmarking often starts with a firm selecting a performance measure for a specific segment of the business to achieve. Naturally, performance indicators vary by industry, but relevant indicators include customer perception, for example, quality, cost and service, business evaluation, and financial stability. Those who will be most impacted by the benchmarking finding must be able to utilize them to effect positive change. This is a vital step in achieving a critical process change and improve performance. The goal is to benchmark procedure across the company, resulting in increased efficiency. External benchmarking creates an apple-to-apple comparison that delivers helpful insight by focusing as closely as possible on the firms that operate in the sector and are roughly the same size as the company. Many of the ratios used for internal benchmarking may also be used for external benchmarking. Benchmarking can also be used as an input to a target costing approach. In addition, internal benchmarking can draw on existing source of data collected under relative comparable circumstances and with greater cost effectiveness. Benchmarking can greatly enhance its day-to-day functionality and stability by accumulating a lot of data that it is not even aware it lacks. With benchmarking, firms, business platforms, managers, and groups can better choose which stability standard and technologies are suited for their purposes. Benchmarking enables managers to identify a company's strengths and weaknesses in comparison to the rest of the organization. In order to effectively benchmark, there must be a strong strategic emphasis and some adaptability in accomplishing management aims. There are few supported real cases. First of all, Starbucks. Starbucks is a large coffee shop that was founded in 1971. The reason why Starbucks was established is because the founders loved coffee and tea. Nowadays, Starbucks was opened all around the world due to the contribution of Howard Schultz, who worked as the head of marketing in Starbucks in 1982, then became the CEO of Starbucks in 1987. Starbucks has applied sustainability benchmarking KPI, which mainly concentrate on the environment and the society. Due to the Starbucks' main goal is to plant higher quality coffee by themselves and reduce the waste in recycling process. Through the strategy, Starbucks found that the farmers were facing some issues when developing the higher quality coffee beans. Therefore, Starbucks provide more loan guarantees for the farmers to produce higher quality coffee beans in a sustainable way. It also implemented a reusable cup program by offering them discount if they bring their own cups. The next example is McDonald's. McDonald's is a famous fast food restaurant which has many franchises all around the world. However, there are many fast food restaurant competitors such as Burger King. To compete with Burger King, McDonald's has implemented competitive benchmarking. Its purpose is to compare the products, services, and work processes between the firms in the same market. Through this strategy, McDonald's had collected the allergen information into the gradient system to satisfy the customer who has food allergies. McDonald's also used sprinkle benchmarking. The goal of Sprinkles benchmarking is to allow the company to know how other competitors treat their customers and have a deep analysis about the content performance to improve the company's strategy. Besides, McDonald's try to understand the needs of the customer. Bird's form of feedback could not satisfy McDonald's social team. They want to have more detailed data from the customers. That's the reason that the listening with benchmarking was implemented. This strategy is not only tracking the social actions, it also helps to analyze the voice of the customers. It provides an advantage for McDonald's, which to create a clearer picture on how to target their audience. The third case is Motorola. Motorola is one of the organizations that effectively implement benchmark. Motorola has attempted to benchmark from Domino's Pizza and Federal Express to further develop their delivery process. In the mid-1980s, Motorola found that the biggest number of clients protesting about working with Motorola was connected to time issues. These grumblings went from extremely since a long time ago guaranteed conveyance time and incessant misconduct to observe the right individual in Motorola to respond to questions and the time spent to get call returned. So, Motorola was seen as being a difficult and lethargic organization with which to do business. After they benchmarked from Domino's Pizza and Federal Express, they have gone to an idea of total cycle time, which was characterized as the total time spent by between the statement of an interest by a client and receipt of a product or administration by that client. In the ideal of total cycle time, Motorola tends to eliminate pointless work, focusing just on the fundamental work. After Motorola implemented the total cycle time, the cycle time for their assembling and designing interaction has diminished from normally 60 to 70%. This implies that an interaction that typically requires 3 weeks can be decreased to 1 week. Also, for the administrative and service processes, the reduction of cycle time is in a scope of 90 to 95%. The last supported case is Xerox Corporation. Xerox Corporation is an American enterprise which is one of the leaders in the field of printing and duplicating technologies. It was established in the USA in 1906 and at first made photographic paper and apparatus utilized for the work with it. Xerox fosters its own benchmarking model and partitions it into 5 stages, which are planning, analyzing, integration, action, and maturity, to determine how its competitors were able to accomplish this quality and operational efficiency. To start with it, Xerox recognizes its competitors. Second, evaluate the strengths of competitors and compare Xerox's performance and that of its competitor to decide the current competitive gap and the projected competitive gap. Third, establish the important objective dependent on the gathered information to accomplish the best execution and incorporate this objective into the organization's formal planning process. Fourth, carry out activity plans, set up and survey them occasionally to decide if the organization is accomplishing its target. In conclusion, decide if the organization has achieved a predominant presentation level. Thank you for listening. Stay safe and goodbye.